In 2016, at long last, the government of Sri Lanka introduced a mandatory quota of 25% for women in local government, thereby acknowledging that politics in the country was not a level playing field, that it was dominated by men. This provoked antagonism from current and prospective male local councillors, who claimed that the quota would allow women to usurp the space that men rightfully occupied. It was evident that they had a sense of privilege and entitlement to politics which they were unwilling to give up. There was also a lack of understanding that the quota is meant to proactively address the reality of women's disadvantage in Sri Lankan politics. The 2018 local government election, the first held with the quota in place, increased the number of women in local authorities from less than 100 to almost 2,000. How did women meet the challenges of becoming and being local councillors? To find out, women's organizations started observing the proceedings of 25 local councils in 5 districts. The study notes that, generally speaking, there is political dismissal of women's presence in local government and contribution to local governance. Male councillors show little acceptance of women in the councils and are reluctant to treat them as equal partners. They use up more time, disrupt proceedings when women make interventions, and commonly harass women through sexual innuendo. In most local councils, women were allowed hardly any time to speak. Subsequently, when some councils gave women equal time to speak, men would dominate the discussions. Moreover, there is an unequal distribution of funds within councils, with women receiving less money to carry out projects. This is particularly so in the case of councillors from opposition parties. Not just that, programs allocated to women councillors tend to be based on gender stereotypes, with subjects ranging from food preparation and childcare to preschool teaching and dressmaking. Women councillors hardly ever receive funds from the council for large projects because it is assumed that they do not have the knowledge and capacity to handle them. Political parties, too, allocate significantly less funds for women councillors. It is unsurprising, then, that the appointment of women members to council committees is limited, and women rarely gain positions in technical and financial committees. Given the limited opportunities available, women find it difficult to demonstrate what they can and want to achieve. This is compounded by the fact that women councillors get little coverage in the media, creating the notion that their contribution to the electorate is minimal. Newly elected women councillors started tackling the challenges they encountered in many ways. Some of the women have long-standing local political experience and knowledge that help them deal with impediments. Women's councillors have also benefited from the information and training received through women's groups and civil society organizations. They are actively engaged in the proceedings of the councils, including in budget debates. Women work closely with their constituencies, prioritizing transparency in council operations, addressing long-standing corruption, and working closely with male councillors and across party lines when possible. A notable achievement is the decision of the Ridhigama Pradeshiya Sabhava in the Kurunegala district to ensure that 50% of the members of all its committees are women. The study makes several important recommendations. Political parties must develop enforceable standards and guidelines to all councillors to ensure that female local councillors are treated with respect and without discrimination. Appoint women local council members in the party decision-making structures and positions. Develop a gender-sensitive code of ethics for party members. Chairpersons of councils and the Commissioner of Local Government must ensure that women are allowed to participate fully within the council so that they are able to effectively carry out their duties as council members. Local councils must encourage proposals that are more gender-focused and would address the issues of women in the public domain, provide alternative care facilities for the small children of women councillors while they attend to their council responsibilities, allocate space for a public gallery to enable transparency of council proceedings, mandate a women's committee as one of the council committees, give women more leadership roles through appointments to the committees. Public agencies and civil society organizations should spearhead advocacy work to promote equal opportunities for women in all political structures, provide more opportunities for women elected to local government and to those who plan to enter politics to gain knowledge and skills, share knowledge on good governance and gender-sensitive leadership with both male and female councillors. Media professionals must provide better coverage of the work carried out by women councillors to highlight the strength and activities of women in local government. The hard-won 25% quota for women in local government must be protected and extended to provincial councils and the Parliament, while increasing women's participation from the minimum 25% to at least parity. The discussion on women in politics must be an ongoing one to prepare the groundwork for better electoral politics well ahead of an election.